And so, which my last backpacking trip didn't quite turn out like I expected, though. So one of us got bit by a baby diamondback rattlesnake.
Oh, Jesus.
You're in luck. We have Dave and Marty this week. Knowledge bomb after knowledge bomb. I know you're going to like this one. Everything from retro gaming to getting bit by a rattlesnake to all sorts of other really interesting, fun stuff. You're going to enjoy this one. Stay tuned.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the show that has no name, but we interview cool people. And today we got a great one for you. We got David Marti on the line. He's responsible for HyperPie. What's it? Motion Blue version 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, amongst many other things you probably don't even know about. But we're here to learn more, to check out the guy behind it. How are you, David?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great.
Excellent, excellent. So, I honestly don't know everything that you do. From a guy who plays a lot of pie and makes pie videos, my understanding is you are kind of a really good coder, and you're also behind those two things that I mentioned before, the Motion Blue and the HyperPie. I'm sure there's more than that as well. So, can you enlighten us?
Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of programming for my job anyway, so it kind of comes a little easier for me, I guess.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I got into the retro gaming, a few years ago with a Hyperspin build. But last summer I stumbled across retropie,
Cool.
and so over the last few months or whatever, I built a lot of the scripts that run on Motion Blue, especially on the track mode side. I wrote all the scripts for the attract mode setup that's in there, like the add
Nice.
favorites and the displays, utilities, and a lot of the other ones that are in that attract mode menu.
Right.
And so when I got hooked up with the guys, and last year, several guys in the old Facebook group, so we kind of regrouped and formed the project HyperPie group.
Oh,
And
nice.
so just kind of out of that, back then we were all of us doing a bunch of themes and all that kinds of stuff. And you probably saw a lot of mine on the infamous Rays image.
Oh, okay. So that's a lot of that work is yours.
Yeah, there's probably about 20 or so themes that are on there are mine, I think, something like that.
Oh,
So,
nice.
but out of that, we all kind of formed, and the whole concept of HyperPie kind of was born out of that sort of. And so we needed, a way to get it out there, if you will. So I had a thing come up to where a friend of mine wanted a base image from me, so him and his son could build a RetroPie together, like a father-son thing, right?
Uh-huh.
So I said, well, that's easy. I can make you a base image. I'll load it up,
Yeah.
And so I did, and I gave him all the ROMs in different folders on a little USB drive, and so. But
Which he had backups for and everything, right?
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
great,
oh
great.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly,
Okay, yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
So
And then
out of that, I made that initial base image, right?
Yes.
All it really had, it was basically a Motion Blue, like early alpha version, I guess.
Oh, nice.
So when I made that, I gave it to the guys to, of course, test it for me, and so once that kind of got a little, groundwork to it, and we added a little this, a little that, redid some scripts and everything. So yeah, out of that Motion Blue version 1, kind of morphed out of all of that. And so I released the first one, like, I don't know, like New Year's Eve or something like that.
7 months ago, it said.
So yeah. So I released the first version of Motion Blue. And so kind of, what the public didn't know at the time
Yeah.
was it was a public beta test for Project HyperPI NS. It's kind of sort of.
Oh, nice.
So that way everybody could use Motion Blue and, break it and tell us what's wrong,
Sure.
kind of a thing, and get all that feedback, and so we could do better.
Right.
And so kind of out of that sort of we, all the feedback, the group of us got together and got all that feedback and developed HyperPie.
Nice.
And,
What are the main differences between HyperPie? From my understanding, the track mode side of it is the most different.
That's the most different. I mean, they're built off, because HyperPie is built off of Motion Blue 2 or 3, I don't know, something like that.
Okay.
But the main differences are emulation station side. Now, the latest Motion Blue's got a few more emulation station stuff. But the real big difference is on the attract mode side. So Motion Blue kind of gives you just like a bare bones, I guess, base image build, right?
Right.
And so it has that was the original default theme that you're showing there.
Yeah.
And later, I got Hursty Blue as the default, but
Yep.
basically that's about it. And so HyperPie came along though, and I mean HyperPie wasn't my idea. I'll tell you that right now. I was just part of the group. But
And that's based off of Hyperspin, right? That's kind of
in essence, it was trying to we were thinking, could we make a Raspberry Pi Hyperspin?
Right.
In essence. And so that was kind of the idea, but they took it, the guys came up with, we took it a step further. Project HyperPie image includes everything Motion Blue had.
Right.
And it included all of the artwork, all the different media, like, box art, cart art, snaps, and wheels for all of the systems also.
Right.
And
so it had all the assets in there already.
Exactly. So it was a one-stop shop kind of thing. All you had to do was, if you had a ROM, you could just copy it over there and it would instantly work.
Populate, yeah.
Yeah, and then over the course of several months, the guys developed the cinematic that you see on Project HyperPie, the main menu and stuff.
Right.
They developed that cinematic main menu, and the rest of us worked on the themes for the different systems. So that's the main differences. Motion Blue is more of a smaller base with just one theme with no artwork. And HyperPie became a bigger base image because it has all of the media plus all of the different themes, Hyperspin, basically.
Right.
So that's the main differences.
And I've used both, and from my perspective, HyperPie is a little laggier than Motion Blue.
It is, and the main reason is Motion Blue, the system videos that I used.
Right.
I downsampled them to I think 480p. I think.
Gotcha.
And so HyperPie, we left it at 720. So it's a little higher bitrate type videos, a little higher encoding. So I think that's one of the things. And then what we learned out of it too was SD cards. They're all class 10, speed wise or whatever.
Sure.
But there's really some differences though, because
between like the Ultra and then the regular.
Yeah. And so that really made a difference because all of us, I guess, were using better cards.
Yeah.
I guess when we tested all this stuff and then we started getting some feedback of being a lagging, we're like, well, it's not on mine. I mean,
Yeah. Even the ones that come with the Cana kit, it's class 10. I have one right here that I was just about to finish writing. There's a little 32 gig class 10 SanDisk, but this SanDisk is not the same as a SanDisk Ultra. Which the SanDisk Ultra, when I write an image, I get about 15 megabyte write on this. When I write on a Ultra, I can get up to 40 meg. It's almost double the write speed.
Yeah,
and then read speed is another thing.
Yeah, so we just learned that out of the whole process really. So
yeah, and so you said 480, you downsize 720p to 480. I mean, that's obviously they're going to boot faster. But the actual videos in a track mode on the main wheel in Hyperspin, it's like this very cinematic movie almost.
Yeah.
That is probably still high res, right?
They are, yeah. And fast forward to now, if you will. The guys, I wasn't really involved much on the PC side, but they came out with HyperPie PC.
Right.
And so that runs a track mode with rocket launcher, and everything. So on a PC, they put back the better quality videos, and you don't have any problems on a PC. So it's just a limitation that we ran into on the Raspberry Pis for that.
And does that? I know there's two different types of way of play media on a Raspberry Pi, right? There's the OMX player, and then there's like the stock. Does that have anything to do with the lag?
It can, yeah, because I know in Emulation Station, if you enable that OMX player, it does allow you to play higher coded videos rather than I think it's VLC. I think is what the default is. So the OMX player is definitely better. And then on the attract mode side, if you enable the MMAL video encoder.
That's in attract mode options.
That's in the attract mode options. That lets you play those videos in attract mode a little better as well. So.
Oh, okay.
So both front ends
optimization tip.
Yeah, both front ends have that options on them.
Can't you just set that by default?
It is, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that set is MMAL on all the Motion Blues and HyperPies for attract mode side.
Gotcha. Interesting. And so you're not part of the PC version of HyperPie?
Not as much.
Oh, okay.
Not as much. I started to with getting into it when the guy started doing the PC conversion. And I was like, man, I just did HyperPie. I just did another Motion Blue.
Yeah, you were
Like,
kind of wanting a
I was
break.
like, I need a break, man.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so I kind of stepped away for a little while and didn't do much on the PC side. I was still around. I'm still
Right.
around, but yeah, I haven't had a lot of interactions on the PC side. I've got it all set up. I did it on my own PC, but
Right.
yeah, so I haven't haven't written any scripts or anything yet for the PC version. So I know one of the PC ones is the generate favorites in the attract mode version of HyperPC. So that's a big one that people want.
Oh, okay.
So I might, delve into that later. I don't know. We'll see.
Nice. So when you're deciding to work on a project like, HyperPie for PC or HyperPie for Pi, I mean, is it that other people come to you and then you weigh whether you want to do it or not, or do you think about your own gaming experience, or do you think about like the community as a whole? How do you go about deciding on decisions as far as what to do next?
Yeah, mine's really based on the community because as a gamer, I'm not much of a gamer.
Yeah.
I'm an 80s kid, so I'm in my mid 40s. And so
Yeah.
I grew up in arcades, my Atari
Sure.
2600,
Nice.
my Commodore 64, So I was a big gamer, of course, as a kid in the 80s,
Right.
And then I kind of got out of it all completely once, the 90s hit, got a job, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Later, I got back into PC gaming, that kinds of thing. But nowadays, I just play a few retro games really every now and then.
Yeah.
I built a few arcade cabinets for folks and that kinds of stuff. But so yeah, when it comes to working on something for like RetroPie or whatever,
Yeah.
it's just pretty much it's like, man, I have an idea. It's like, man, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So through all of this process over this past year or so, all the Facebook groups I'm in, and then now with the YouTube thing,
Yeah.
several people have contacted me, of course, through the YouTube, the Motion Blue video things.
Yeah.
So I've got quite of a network of people, I guess, is the
Yeah,
easiest
yeah,
way
yeah.
to say it. So I've got quite a few folks that I talk to on a regular basis, and so I'll come up with an idea and I'll shoot it to 2 or 3 of them and say, hey man, what do you think about that?
Yeah.
And they'll write back and say, that's stinky, no way,
Yeah.
or hey, that might work, So
Sure,
it's like,
sure.
"Hey," then I'll roll with it for a while,
Yeah, yeah. So bouncing off ideas off each
Yeah,
other.
so that's kind of how I kind of do it nowadays, really. Initially, like Motion Blue and HyperPie, it was more of, and it started, it all started with attract mode stuff last year,
Right.
and so I'm a big Hyperspin attract mode guy.
Yeah.
ES is fine, but
Yeah. Do you have a
But,
bar
like,
top or arcade, or you still even like it
I
on
have
a
a full
computer?
size arcade.
Oh,
and
nice.
I've built several bar tops for friends and family and stuff. So yeah, every Thursday night is guys' night at my house.
Oh, really? Nice.
So pizza, beer, video games, movies, you name it. So,
What's usually the go-to game that almost gets played every week?
oh, Golden Tee 2K. Nobody
really?
can go home. Yep, no, nobody can go home.
Is that
until we play
trackball?
18 round. Yeah, it's a trackball. Yeah.
Nice.
So nobody can go home till we played a round of Golden Tee golf.
Nice.
This is it.
How do you do your trackball? You have which one? You have to tell me after the video, but I'd love to hear how you get it all
Well, you
set
can
up.
see it online if.
Oh, you have a video on it?
Yeah, if you go to it's not on YouTube. It's actually a different web page. I have a personal web page.
Okay.
That's out there in the world. That it's just martyfamily.net. Pretty simple. I mean, there's not
Okay.
a lot on it anyway. But
Yeah.
I have a video of the arcade cabinet that's in my house that I've been.
Oh, nice.
So since then, I've loaded a few more pinball tables on there and that kind of stuff. But
Nice. Do you
So-
you're not into virtual pinball?
I love future pinball is what I have on my cabinet, and that definitely gets played quite often too. So I wouldn't mind having a virtual pinball cabinet. So maybe one day I'll make one.
Yeah, because I know
that
Dwayne
gets different.
Dwayne was really talking to me about that. And then what about you two? Because you guys both, he has a 40-inch cabinet too. Like, whose is better?
Yeah, that beast of his is crazy. Holy cow! Yeah, mine's just a normal, 2-player 27.
27.
inch.
Okay.
Yeah.
So his is longer for the record.
Oh yeah.
Nice, nice.
So, but it's just a lot of fun. I've like I said, I've networked with a lot of the guys this past year or so, and a lot of different users and everything else. It's just been a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, I mean, even me just networking with you, it's just so amazing how the whole community kind of got together, and everyone's very welcoming of newbies and just everyone.
It really is, and when I first released Motion Blue, I thought, man, I'm just a nobody.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a YouTube channel and put it out there. And,
Yeah.
I figured, 20 people may see it, 5 may use it, right?
Right.
That was it. All the guys I had contact with through Facebook and stuff, they played with it and used it and built upon it and stuff.
Right.
And then after Motion Blue 1 came out, within like 2 weeks, I was like, it's like, whoa, there's quite a few people
Yeah.
that are using this, because, I didn't think it would catch on either, because that was the first time, and it wasn't anything like earth-shattering ideas I had, but Motion Blue was the first retropie related that kind of made you have Hyperspin named stuff,
right,
for ROMs and media and stuff. And until then, that wasn't really a thing for retropie. Yep. So I made it, and I thought, man, nobody's going to even want to do that, because after building all the Hyperspin stuff, it's hours sometimes renaming all this stuff,
Sure.
Finding box art and media, and oh my gosh, pain in the butt, right?
Yeah, totally.
So I thought, a few people might use it, But yeah, it's pretty amazing that I look back and just how many people have used Motion Blue and now HyperPie.
Yeah.
I'm just like, wow, it floors me. It's pretty incredible, actually. So.
Yeah. What do you have any idea what the RetroPie? Do you communicate with any of the people at RetroPie?
I do, only in the regards of themes lately.
Okay.
I know that they officially, of course, don't like third-party images. And which
right.
Motion Blue is. But, I do post a little bit on there, and some of the new recent updates with Emulation Station for sure. I've been posting and asking questions and posting the new ES themes I've been releasing over there. So I have some interaction with the dev guys over there, but not a lot.
Oh, okay. And then so as far as like you making Motion Blue and stuff, I know, yes, they don't like third-party images. We're not going to get them preloaded, but they're not necessarily preloaded with any ROMs. So as far as, but they don't,
Yeah,
they
it's
don't
still a
else.
third-party image. Yeah, so it's not discussed. Basically.
Yeah, right. Gotcha.
There, so.
Just curious if maybe they like looked at your work and wanted to implement it on RetroPie, or they because if I was them,
I don't know.
I would use your development as like, wow, this is the potential here. Maybe we could borrow some of these ideas.
Right. And see that with the recent ES updates, they've definitely added a lot of function to Emulation Station, but for attract mode, they don't touch it. Right. And so that was where me and the guy said, man, we could really, we could push this thing. So let's see how much we could make attract mode do.
Yeah.
And so that, I wrote that generate favorite script, and then, several others, and the other guys wrote some. And so I think we did a good job, as far as pushing really attract mode. And then recently with the themes for Emulation Station, up until the new updates for ES that's been coming out, you always had the traditional, horizontal menu bar, and then you went into the game system and you had a list of games, and that was about it.
Yeah, exactly.
But with these new updates, though, we have vertical wheels, and all that kind of stuff. So I like myself and Dwayne and a few of the other guys on one of the Facebook groups. We're like, Phil's Doodles. His hand drawn stuff is amazing. But so there's a whole group of folks that are making newer themes to take advantage of those updates, and I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I was just looking at Magazine Madness, or even the box things that David Marty's working on. Or let's even check out your new one. You just have the new kids one, right?
So yeah, I did. So it's called Kids. So this kind of came about because I had a lot of my family members over one weekend, a couple of weekends ago, I think. And a lot of them, my nieces and nephews, are anywhere from 5 to, 10, 12 years of age, I guess.
Yeah.
And so they of course want to play games. They're like, games,
Yeah.
And so I got to looking one night at all the themes that are available for Emulation Station. And some are fine for kids, but I didn't really see a kids, younger retro gamer theme, Right. And on Facebook quite often I see, somebody will post about a picture with their 7-year-old playing Mario Kart, And, it's like, man, we need to cater to those little guys, the little guys. We need to cater to them just a little bit.
Sure.
So I came up with this kids theme that you're showing there. And so it's more of like a chalkboard,
Yeah.
for the menu, and then when you go into a system, it's a little less information. It's really just the game list, the description, and the video. Really,
Yep.
that's about it. So it's more catered to them. It's bold colors in your face, but not a lot of stuff. And in fact, it's released today, I did remove the words on the left. The words aren't on there anymore.
Oh, games and arcade.
Yeah, I got rid of it. It just looked funny.
Yeah, especially on some of the longer
Yeah,
titles.
so I got rid of that. But yeah, it's I released it today. Oh, it's over on my GitHub page right now.
Nice.
I've got a few guys that are testing it out for me, and if everything works good, then we'll put a request in it and get it into emulation session.
Nice. Congrats. That's awesome. And can I just point out right here that you were telling me, for all the people that got this far in the video so far, that there's little Easter eggs hidden in here. We've got some names here on the left.
So yeah,
You got
so
Drew.
yeah.
Drew
So
right
there's
here.
Drew. Yeah.
You got. I saw
wins.
Jamin, which is ETA.
ETA. Yeah,
And we got
he's in
Ray.
there.
Ray.
I
which,
couldn't forget Ray.
The absolute. We got Dwayne in there. And we got Ron, right? Ron
Yep,
from Mad Little Pixel.
Yep, Mad Little
Okay.
Pixel's in there.
And
so-
Felipe's in there.
Felipe, yeah,
Yeah.
he's in there. So yeah, it was a lot of fun going through, and I just kind of went through that page that you're seeing right now is a lot of the RetroPie developers.
Yeah.
That's who those guys are.
Yeah,
But
right.
then all the other names are just like you and ETA and just a lot of the folks that I deal with in Facebook.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I need to stick them on there.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So with the kids theme, there's also something called like a kids mode, right? That's within the optional packages. Is that
Yeah.
supposed to go hand in hand at all, or is it kind of separate?
No, it's
Oh,
not
okay.
built for it. Yeah, it's not built for it.
Yeah.
So that kids mode's kind of tweaky from what I understand. I've never installed
Yeah.
it.
Neither have I.
I've heard it's okay, but
Yeah.
So no, it's really just meant for regular RetroPie.
Right. Because the kids mode's supposed to like make it so you can't get into the terminal and like all this
Yeah,
stuff, right?
but I think it's got some weird bugs.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Catches sometimes. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a regular ES theme. So
Yeah.
hopefully it'll be in the for download officially here before too long.
Yeah. I almost think it's kind of good for kids to kind of like break the pie, because it's like a learning experience,
Right.
How do I get this to
Big
work
time.
again? Do I unplug it? Do I do this? Do I that? It's actually kind of like it turns it into a learning tool instead of just a
And it
gaming
does.
thing.
I mean, I've learned a ton. Like I said, I built my first cabinet probably like 3 or 4 years ago.
And what were you running on it? A PC or?
It's PC Hyperspin based.
Yeah.
And for months I beat my head against the wall, and trying to get this stuff figured out. And I ran across Simply Awesome stuff.
Oh, nice.
And so that's how I learned Hyperspin to get it all
Right,
built.
right.
And after I built the first one, I was like, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah.
But as soon
First
as
time,
friends and
last
family
time.
come over, it's just like, oh my gosh, I want one. So I don't know. I built quite a few of them, and then, like I said, last year I kind of stumbled into RetroPie because I had a friend that wanted one, but he couldn't afford to build a new PC.
Oh.
And I was like, well, I guess I'll see if there's a cheaper way.
Yeah.
And I Googled a little bit, and I ran across RetroPie.
Oh.
And I was like, and last year, it just seems like this past 8 or 9 months, it's really taken off. But summer last year, there was a little bit out there, but it just wasn't a lot of people talking about it, documentation and sharing of things, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's when I stumbled across. I was like, well, heck, I wonder if Facebook has any groups,
Right.
So,
Right.
So I'm not a big Facebook guy, but hey, I'll look.
Yeah.
And sure enough, there were a few groups, and I got lucky because the one that I did join, Ray was in there along with a bunch of the other guys, and so I was like, wow, these guys know their stuff. I like it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a lot of fun learning, since all that time, and just trying to see how far we can push it, and what kind of new graphics we can do and ideas we can do to it. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That's awesome. So, if you were to build like your own image at today with the software that's out there, what would you use as the base? Motion Blue Version 5 or HyperPie?
Yeah, I'd probably use Motion Blue 5.
And then do you default to a track mode or emulation station?
I used to be all about a track mode. I mean, that's what I really like. I like the flashiness and all
Yeah.
that kinds of stuff. But I have to say, with the recent themes of emulation station, I actually find myself using emulation station more often now.
Yeah.
And so it's like, whoa. Now, I will say I've seen a few beta prototypes of some forthcoming attract mode themes.
Uh-huh.
They look pretty nice.
Ah, okay. So let's not get comfortable.
So yeah, there's a couple of new attract mode themes that are coming down the pipe that look really pretty nice.
Nice. Yeah, with the emulation station, what's nice is the start and select buttons.
Yeah,
And the functionality there is just so there's so many little shortcuts,
yeah, for
especially
sure.
when you have 128 gigs worth of
Yeah,
backups.
yeah, and with their recent updates they've made have been awesome. I mean, I can't commend the RetroPie devs enough. I mean, they did a great, lot of work for just nothing, just for us to play.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So you have your own GitHub page. I use GitHub sometimes. People send me there. I recently did a video about, I think you even posted this theme, and that's why I made a video about it, where like there's this page here and you can get all the
Oh
themes.
yeah.
Can you let us know of what do you think are some of the most like people don't know that these things exist, but they're like great resources, things like that maybe the introductory RetroPie user might not know that's out there. There's databases, there's information out there that's a great resource.
Well, that page you're on now is by far one of my favorites to give to people because they say, well, what does it look like? Well, here, this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make it look like anything, and especially the newer themes at the bottom. I mean, I like those better because they're more flashy to me, the newer ones at the bottom. And this page is a big one. And since I've been in RetroPie, even started last year, I tend to always write tutorials for people, I guess.
You write them?
Yeah, I've written quite a few. So last year I wrote one on how to create, it's an attract mode theme tutorial is what it was. And it's a big old PDF document with a template of a theme and how to make stuff and what the code
that comes on the Motion Blue, right? When you download that image, there's a PDF.
No,
is that the one in there?
Yeah, the tutorial's not on there. It's a separate download. But I tend to make a lot of those type of things, like how-to documents kind of thing. So there's a lot of them on the Facebook groups that are there. So, but one of the main things that people ask me a lot these past few months is how to make a theme. And so attract mode is, there's web pages for that, but emulation station for sure. This one here that you're looking at here, but if you scroll down just a little bit, down on the right hand side, they have a resource here on their page of how to make a theme.
Create your own theme.
And this is an awesome, it's not updated yet with the new things that emulation station can do yet, but it will be eventually. But so this is a great resource that I'm always pointing those guys to as well, because it explains a lot of how to make an emulation station theme.
Right.
And so a lot of it, like Dwayne, he's like a machine.
Yeah.
when he gets an idea of something, he's like, oh man, I'll make like 5 a day. Well, like 3 days later, he's made like 150 of them or whatever,
Right.
So, so the normal people, the longest part of making a theme is the artwork, the Photoshop work, And so the coding behind it, like I said, that's what I do for a day job. So it's a little easier for me to pick it up.
Yeah.
But the coding behind it, once you build one and get an idea of how it works, then from then on, building new themes, I wouldn't necessarily say it's like an assembly line after that, but it gets a lot easier,
Oh, I'm sure.
And so the longest part is making the artwork.
Right.
But this page definitely will help out as far as the coding. So I send quite a few folks to this page too, and to read and understand how things work behind the scenes and that type of thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good resource. Anything else on here?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah, but it does have some great stuff, right? With transferring ROMs, scraping.
Oh yeah.
How to configure your controller diagrams.
Exactly. And then what ROM extensions go with what system.
Right.
Because that's the big one. It's like, look, read the wiki.
Yeah. Yeah. It's right there.
They're like, how do I play Atari 2600? Read the wiki.
Yep.
So but yeah, it'll explain all of it. But this is definitely, I visit this page quite often. Even myself, I do. So.
Right on. Do you have any kids? Married? Single?
No, I am not married. No kids.
Oh wow! So you got plenty of time to
So yeah, I my problem is I have too many hobbies.
Oh yeah, what are some of the other
So,
hobbies?
oh well, I've always been an avid backpacker, so
Oh,
it's no out of ordinary for me to come up on a Thursday and say, man, that's it. Find some people to go with me, throw a 40-pound backpack on us, and go hike 25 miles for the weekend. That's pretty normal for me, you know.
yeah.
And so, which my last backpacking trip didn't quite turn out like I expected, though. So one of us got bit by a baby diamondback rattlesnake.
Oh Jesus! And you were the one that sucked the poison out.
Well, so yeah, that was crazy because we just did a 14-mile day. You know, we were done. You know, and one of the guys said, "Well, he's going to walk up a little distance and check out this railroad bridge that we're, fixing to go walk up to that following morning." We're like, "Well,
Yeah.
look down. Yeah, there they are." You know, because we'd seen several throughout the day anyway. You know,
Yeah.
and we're in West Texas is where we were,
Oh wow.
and so we're sitting there, and I'm sitting there kind of leaning against a tree, and so there was three of us. So one of my friends was standing in the middle of the trail, and the other one was about an eighth of a mile down, down the trail.
Yeah.
And we'd told him, we'd said, hey, if you find a better campsite, let us know, So we didn't unpack anything yet. So my friend says, hey, he thinks he found a better campsite. And I was like, yeah? He said, yeah, he's running. And I'm like, he's running? That's usually not a good sign, especially after a 14-mile day of hiking.
Yeah.
So he gets closer to us, and he's like, white as a ghost. We're like, what the heck? He says, well, he stepped over this patch of grass, and he looked down, and there was a baby diamondback rattlesnake sitting next to him.
Oh God.
And we're like, holy crap! Well, did it bite you? He's like, I don't know. We're like, well, find out. So he pulled up his pants leg, and sure as next, man, he had two little pinholes with blood sipping out of them. We're like, oh, crap. So we're like, we're in the middle of nowhere. We're like 2.5 miles from the nearest road intersection. So luckily, it was like 4-ish in the afternoon. So we told him, all right, lay down. So I got my phone and I found the park ranger's number and called them. And man, within like 20 minutes, they can drive on the trails where normal people can't. So they come blaring down this trail and pick us up, take us back to the road. And we get back there. There's like 2 sheriffs and an ambulance and some other people there. So they start asking us all these questions. And within like 2 or 3 minutes, they're all gone. And we're standing there with 2 of the park rangers like, now what? Where did they go?
Yeah.
He said, well, they'll contact you. And so I was like, well, could you guys drive us to one end or the other of the trail where our cars were?
Yeah.
So we went and got one of the cars. So they dropped us off, and we were on our way to get the other car at the end of the trail. And our phones rang, and they told us where they took him, to one of the nearby biggest towns, to the hospital. So we finally made it there. It was like 9:30 by the time we found. It had been like 5 hours since they left us.
Yeah.
So we get in the hospital. We find him. He's in his room, and man, he's just writhing in pain on that bed. Because they wouldn't give him any painkiller stuff yet because
wow.
they didn't know what kind of a rattlesnake it was. So they had
because there's like 2 or 3 different types of species, right?
Yeah, and depending on what bit you,
right,
it dictates which anti-venom you get.
Oh.
And so they didn't know. So what they did was they kind of gave him a cocktail of both. And make a long story short, he actually was in the hospital for 5 days, and he got 11 vials of antivenom by the time it was all said and done.
What?
And so it was just crazy. It was the most bonkery thing ever.
And
so
what happened now? Is he okay?
Yep, we got to him quick enough, and they got him to the hospital quick enough, and he was, he's in his late 30s, great shape, so, but yeah, so he's full recovered, no tissue damage, because that's what a snake does, it eats that tissue.
Wow.
So, but yeah, they administered all the anti-venom for him in time, and so 100% back to normal now, but yeah, it was pretty interesting, so
yeah,
that's one of my hobbies.
Yeah. yeah. They say that the baby snake is actually worse to get bit by because they don't know how to not give venom and regulate the venom.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Where the big ones might give you a warning bite.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, backpacking's definitely my first love, but photography.
Hold on. I'm not done with backpacking. So with backpacking, I know that when people are really, I'm not a huge backpack. I did Boy Scouts and all that stuff, so I've done some backpacking, but I'm not super into it. But I do know that the people that are really into it, there's like different weights, right? With how much weight you carry on your back. Do you do all that? Like, do you do a certain category? Okay. You go heavyweight or lightweight, or what's your...
See, I'm almost an ultralight backpacker, which
Okay.
means all of my gear, without food and water, I think all of my gear only weighs like 12 pounds, I think.
Wow.
And so it's more expensive to buy lighter weight things.
Yes.
But so it can get expensive. But I've been doing it for so long now that just every year I'll buy something new to replace something old, kind of a thing.
Right.
And so normally, we go on weekend trips, and that was kind of the country we were in. That's roughly what West Texas looks like.
Yeah.
So it was crazy though. But I did all, I went backpacking in the snow with snowshoes.
So what was what was your probably best vista point or even the journey up there? What was one of the biggest highlights for you area wise?
On that recent trip?
No,
trip?
in your whole life.
So there's I lived in Colorado for a year when I finished college back in the 90s. And so the friends that I made in school up there, I lived in Denver is where I lived at.
Uh-huh.
And so, man, it was just on the weekends during the summer, we were gone. We were up a mountain somewhere.
Yeah.
And so it was just awesome. Colorado is definitely my favorite place to be. And
Yeah.
So I just love that area up there. So I have belted out a John Denver tune once or twice on top of a Colorado mountain.
Nice. You did all the stereotypes.
Yep. But yeah, I love Colorado for sure. So
Nice. This kind of reminds me of like Tahoe or that area.
Very similar. Yeah, very similar. So it's
The
just
Rockies.
an awesome place to be.
Yeah, waterfalls, vistas, just awesome. And it seems like they have a lot of wildflowers in the spring, and then you get snowed in the winter.
Yeah. We were, like I said, I went backpacking one time, and we went to bed. We started hiking out, and we went ahead and rented snowshoes. We didn't need them, but you never know.
Yeah.
So we hiked out that day and had a blast and caught, fresh trout out of a river and cooked it on a fire and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So we went to bed. We got up that next morning, and it was like, 7 or 8 o'clock that next morning. And so we unzipped the tent and we looked out, and there's like 2 feet of snow everywhere.
Oh, man.
We're like, whoa, So we definitely needed the snowshoes to get out of there, but that was an awesome trip. So
Nice. That's so cool. I have a fond memory like that too, where we went to Tahoe. No, we went to Yosemite, and it's quite a drive up there. If you've ever been to Yosemite, and the first day we were there, we went into the park. We were staying a little farther south, our hotel, so we had to leave the park about an hour to spend the night. The first day it was sunny. The second day it started to go from sunshine to snowing as we're entering the park. And it was just the most surreal thing to go from super bright sun. The thing is with snow is it's still really bright. It's just bright in a different
really
way.
bright, yeah. Even at nighttime when it's snowing, if you're in an area with cities around, even at nighttime it's bright when it's snowing.
Yeah,
so.
And it's just such a contrasting thing, and to experience one right after the other is just so like it's almost like you're in a dream. You're dreaming, like
Pretty
how
much.
it affects you. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's definitely my first love. Probably is backpacking and hiking. So.
Nice. So then you mentioned photography. What else?
Yeah, so I did photography, astronomy. I learned how to oil paint. So if you remember back in the 80s and 90s, Bob Ross, the big afro-looking guy, right?
Have you heard his biography?
So yeah, I have.
He's an amazing guy. He's like a legitimately amazing person, both philanthropy, the way he gave back, the way he got his program.
Awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. So I went to Hobby Lobby,
Yeah.
Now, I needed another hobby. Like that's what I told myself. So I went to Hobby Lobby and I went up and down every aisle.
Yeah.
I ran across the Bob Ross paint stuff. And I was like, hey, I remember that guy from TV. Happy trees. Paint a little happy tree. I was like, I think I can paint a happy tree. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So I bought a whole bunch of paint and I bought a bunch of canvases. And like over on my martyfamily.net page, you'll actually see all of my paintings that I've done. And so I'm not the world's best painter. I'll tell you that right now.
Okay.
So if you go to oil painting, right?
Yeah.
So that very first green one, right? I started out on like 8x10 canvases, right? That was my very first painting, right?
What is it? 8x10?
That's an 8x10.
Okay.
So I started on that, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
So I stuck with it, and I did a few more, and I did a few more, and so then I was like, hey, this is actually kind of fun.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So now I've painted up to like a 36 by 48, I think.
Nice.
So if you go back to the main ones, scroll down towards the bottom. If you, that one right there is a big one. But yeah, if you scroll towards the bottom, it's the more recent ones, I guess.
Yeah.
And so let's see, like 53 was one of the last ones I did. I think that's a 24 by 36 or something like that.
Wow, and
So
you
it's
buy
in its
nice
wood
frames
frame.
too.
So it's just a lot of fun. It's so different from what I do for a job in most of my other hobbies, that
Yeah.
it was like, I'm just going to stand in front of a canvas with a brush.
Yeah.
They're like, well, this will be interesting.
Yeah, wow.
So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, creative outlet for sure.
So if you scroll to the top, this page will give you a little idea. You can see my cabinet and everything else. But another big love of mine is Can-Am Spider. So that's my baby right there. So
You have the
love
matching
motor-
trunk and everything.
Oh heck yeah, you have to. So I went on like week-long road trips on that thing and everything, and it's just awesome. I love riding my Spider. So I've had motorcycles in the past, but after buying this guy, man, I'm just like, that's the way it is. That's it. It's awesome.
Yeah. How many cc's is that?
I think mine's a 2011, so I think mine is. Let's see, what were they back then? 990 or something like that. I think is what they were. So the newer ones are like in the 1300s, I think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
pretty good.
another one of my favorite
that's
favorite
smart.
things to do is just need to get away, go ride.
This is 1,998 cc.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that thing to death. It's a blast. So.
Yeah, no, that's cool. And how does that handle compared to a motorcycle with being a trike?
Yeah, so if you've ever ridden a four-wheeler or a quad runner,
Yeah, like an
whatever you wanna
ATV
call
or
them,
something,
right?
yeah.
That's exactly what a Spider feels like.
Oh, okay.
And that's exactly what it feels like. So
Yeah.
I've ridden traditional three-wheelers back in the day when they sold them.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many times I've rolled that thing. I mean, it's just, they're unstable.
Yeah.
But the Spiders with the wheels in front, I mean, I'm not a big physics guy,
Yeah.
but you're not going to roll that thing. And
Yeah.
it's just a blast to ride.
Nice.
But
Very
yeah,
nice.
there's some. I don't post a lot on this page. I don't keep it up to date, but I got into
Yeah.
black and white photography for a little while.
Nice.
And took a little bit of those on some of my backpacking trips. So there's my cabinet. You can see my cabinet.
I
My
gotcha.
build video of what it looked like.
Oh, nice.
So that's the one that's in my house.
It came out pretty good.
So it was a lot of fun. That was my first one I'd built.
Nice. Very cool. How did you do the graphics? You had somebody print them for you, or you printed them?
Yeah, there's a place online here in the States that Game On Graphics, I think is what they are.
Oh, okay,
And
cool.
So I buy a lot of stuff from them. So they're really good. Ship pretty quick. Excellent quality.
So you have a camper too.
Yeah, I've actually traded that one in and got its bigger brother, if you will.
Nice.
So the bigger brother is a 4x4 model. I needed bigger.
4x4, so 2 axles instead of 1, or?
Yeah, it's a 2-axle trailer. It's just a little bit bigger than that one, but
Yeah.
it's got a lift kit on it. So it's bigger tires and all that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
So that way, when I head to Colorado, I can pretty much go anywhere I want to.
And can you pull this with your Spider, or you need a car?
No, you need a car. Dadgummit.
Okay.
So
Yeah, because I know we were talking about backpacking. There's like the featherweight backpackers. I know there's also like featherweight camper trailers as well.
I did find one that my Spider could pull, but it was really expensive.
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
was basically a shell.
Yeah,
kind of a thing.
it's all
I was like,
fiberglass
eh,
and like
yeah.
there's not much to it. Because I know the one you have here, like it has a stove. It still has like
Yeah.
a lot of amenities that you wouldn't expect this
Exactly.
little thing to have.
Exactly. So, yeah, a lot of my hobbies are outdoor related. Most of them are.
Yeah, yeah, nice.
Yeah, my painting.
yeah.
It's
That's
just the crazy-
awesome. No, I think that's really important to have like a balanced life. Like it's
I
not.
mean, I definitely recommend it to anybody. Just go to Hobby Lobby, buy a canvas, buy some paints,
Yeah.
give it a whirl. It's so different from everything else that we do.
Yeah.
And it was just a blast. And so I've got 3 or 4 of my other friends painting now too.
Oh, nice. That's cool. You got them involved.
So too funny. Ham radio. I am a ham radio operator as well.
Oh, interesting.
So So yeah, so that's a fun hobby as well. So
Look
I
at
don't know,
you! Wow,
I've got
a wealth of knowledge.
I just got too many.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Cool.
I'll binge on one for a while and it's like, man, I need a break. Do something different.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, totally. Totally. Cool. Well, now it's time for lightning round. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right. Do you shave in the shower or out of the shower?
Out.
Out of the shower, and you go electric, straight edge.
I'm a regular
Standard.
razor type guy. Yeah.
Do you do like the Dollar Shave Club, or do you just go and buy it?
Yeah, no, I just go buy them at the store.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sometimes, like right now, I have a little goatee action going on, but
Nice.
I work from home a lot, so nobody sees me.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Really? So I might not shave for a week, and then it'll bug me, and I'll shave it all off. Then I'll let it grow back some, and so it just depends.
Nice. Where in you don't give me your exact location, but what's the biggest city you're next to in Texas? Which part of Texas?
In the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Yeah.
Dallas. Okay. Nice. You like it there?
I do. I mean, I'm a Texan, born and raised.
Born and raised, yeah.
So it's my home.
Yeah.
But if I had to live anywhere, it'd be Colorado. So if
Gotcha,
I had to
yeah.
ever move anywhere else.
It's quite polarizing. You're going from like super, super hot, low altitude, right, to higher altitude, really
Yeah,
cold,
'cause-
right?
Yeah, I was playing tennis a lot when I know we're in the lightning round, but quick
No,
story.
no,
I
it's
was playing-
fine. We're actually
when
not
I-
yet. We're good.
When I moved to Colorado back in the '90s for school, college, I was actually playing a lot of tennis here.
Okay.
And so I was playing pretty much on a everyday almost basis. So I moved up there to Colorado, to Denver, and I get a job, and so I meet some people there, and we find out some of the other people play tennis,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's awesome, let's go,
Yeah, yeah.
So I'd only been there
do
about
it.
a month, I think, and so like a Saturday, morning, we all get together and go play tennis, outside at the tennis courts and stuff. So I'm like, all right, let's do this, and so I was in really, great shape, and everything, and so, man alive, though, within 10 minutes of playing hardcore tennis, I was like laying out on the court going, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
so it
You
took a
don't
while.
realize, yeah.
It-
You can't,
it- it
you don't
takes
get
a
as much
while.
oxygen.
Yeah, it took me a while to get acclimated for sure. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Awesome. All right, here we go. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Tea? Oh, I have a question for you. That's what I was going to ask before the lightning round. So tea, I remember that. But you seem like the type of guy that would know something, or something random. So what's something that not many people know, not necessarily retropie related, but just in life, what's something that not many people know that you could teach them really quick, or something that might blow, like that they might not think about very much, that's kind of maybe bigger than they think?
Oh man, I don't know. Well, like painting for one. I
Okay.
mean, because if you look at oil painting, you're like, how in the heck, But no, I mean, anybody can do it. It's just a few strokes to learn, and boom, you're done. So I've taught at least a half a dozen people how to paint.
Oh, so like
Especially
a newbie looking at it looks like, how did all these colors mix and get
Yeah,
to this shape?
yeah.
And you're saying it actually is fairly simple.
It's actually fairly simple. I mean, it can be complex. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
But for my level of expertise, right?
Yeah.
So no, I mean, I've actually hosted here at my house painting classes for my friends
Yeah.
and family. So I've had them all over, and I've set up tables. Everybody's got a little easel and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so within an hour, man, we're done.
Yeah.
And they have this painting. I've instructed them and showed them and taught them how to paint. And they're like, whoa.
Yeah.
So that's just one of the easy things.
Yeah. I feel like that could be maybe extrapolated to a lot of things in life, like even learning how to code RetroPie or setting up your own image. It's like once you sit down and you jump into it,
Well, that's it.
you
It's
realize that it's actually not as intimidating as it looks. It's quite.
I mean, it really is. Like to make
Yeah.
an image. To make an image is the easiest thing in the world. To make it, one of the big things that we see a lot of when people make a pre-made image is controller configurations.
Yeah.
That's the big one. Well, you can actually make an image completely fully loaded and never even launch emulation station.
Right.
You don't have to. You don't
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah. It's
You
all
know,
drag and
you know.
drop.
That's it. As soon as you launch it, hit F4,
Yeah.
do it all, and then you're done.
Yep.
So, and it's really simple.
Yeah. 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 Right on. Oh, I did. And actually, earlier I had something I wanted to ask you about. Did you read or watch anything on the Dreamcade replay?
I did, and it'd be fun to have, I think,
Yeah,
but the whole licensing thing
is
you
an
know
issue. Yeah,
yeah, what games are they going to have that they could legally
yeah,
give me, you know?
yeah,
So that until we know that for certain,
yes,
yeah, we'll see.
yeah. It's just another pie.
I mean, yeah, it's good. Like if you go to Target or Fry's Electronics or something, you
Yeah,
can buy one of these little bitty arcades, right?
yeah,
They have like 300 games on them.
yeah. But they're
We've never
they're
heard of
trash games. Yeah,
Yeah, you never heard of any of them.
yeah,
So is that all they're going to be able to give me?
yeah. Gotcha.
So the whole licensing thing is where it's going to make or break that, I think.
Yeah, and the whole front end, because I know you have experience with the front end coding. Do you? Because that's where I saw the value was like, if they can move faster than RetroPie can move, if they make that front end super super sweet, right? People like that.
Yeah,
Like,
if they could make that and make it downloadable and customizable, then they may have a product. Kind of like that's how Launchbox sort of kind of happened.
yeah,
Because I actually met those guys. I mean, they'd already been kind of in business. I mean, but there was a video game, I don't know, event, fair, whatever you want to call it,
Sure.
here in Dallas a couple of years ago, and they were there. So it was great to talk to them. I met, both of them, both of the guys, and we talked retro gaming, and
Yeah.
we talked, Launch Box and then Big Box, because they just came out with a bunch of updates for Big Box, which it made it kind of more Hyperspinish kind of a thing.
yeah.
So it was great. It was fun talking to those guys, and so but that's kind of how they started.
Yeah.
Like the Dreamcade guys was, they made a front end,
Yeah.
made it easy to configure to where people could do development on it themselves, update it, change the themes and stuff. And so
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean,
it'll be
that's why I mentioned the software, because I think the hardware is nothing special. It's
Yeah, like
all
just a
in the
PC.
software. Yeah.
it's all in the
exactly.
front end and what they can legally give us or not.
Yeah. Interesting. And then what about so they do have that, I don't know if you saw, but they literally have like a built-in browser where you browse these ROM sites, and with the click of a button, it downloads that ROM and installs it, and you can play with one click.
Yeah.
Now, let's not talk about the ethical and
I
legal.
mean, part of me think that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to play the Atari 2600 game Freeway, which is that's one of my favorite games ever.
I'll have to check it out.
Road. I mean, it's just a chicken crossing a road,
Okay.
And so that's one of my favorite games. So yeah, you could just I want to play that game like right now.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
And if they can pull it off, man, folks are going to eat it up.
Yeah. So from a user standpoint, it's awesome.
I
But you're
think
just
so,
saying
yeah.
from a person who would invest in it or not, you just be very skeptical.
I'm just I would.
Yeah.
I'll have to. I'll wait until there's a few out in the wild first.
Yep. No, for sure. And I figured as much. I was just interested because I thought you might have a different perspective because you mess with the software. So I'm just curious your perspective more on the software side.
I think, and then like I said, if it comes to that and they do make their front end freely available, downloadable, where we can get our hands on it, then they may have another viable product, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Right on. Hopefully they listen to this and they change their mind. Speaking of which, last question on that, do you use Laka or Launchbox or anything else?
So I started out with Maximus Arcade.
Okay.
It was the first front end that I'd used.
Yeah.
And it would, I made a theme of it for RetroPie.
Yeah.
Maximus Pi is where it came from. So that was the first front end I ever used, and it was pretty simple, but it did its job.
Yeah.
And then I got into Hyperspin immediately.
Right.
And so those are the only two PC front ends I'd ever used.
Gotcha.
And then RetroPie.
Oh, okay. So you don't have experience
so.
with any of the other ones?
No, I never have.
Gotcha. Okay, just curious. And are you interested at all? Like Recall Box, Laka, any of the other ones? Not really? None of them really pique your interest?
Yeah, because I thought about Recall Box, but from what I heard or read about it, it's kind of locked down more.
Gotcha.
You can't program it like we do with the Emulation Station. Gotcha. And for me, like I said, I'm not a big gamer.
Yeah.
I like building stuff.
Sure.
That's what I like to better. And
so if it was more open source, you might be a little more intrigued.
I'd probably check it out. Yeah, I'd probably check it out.
Okay. So without further ado, lightning round. Coffee or tea? You said tea. Books or movies?
Books.
Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
Coke. Chocolate or vanilla?
Ooh. I got to go vanilla on that one.
Vanilla. Okay. Early bird
Yeah.
or night owl?
I used to be a night owl, but as I get older,
Yeah.
I can't stay up late anymore, man. I get up at 5:30 every day, so I'm
Wow.
an early bird now.
So do you have a routine?
You know, I did it for so many years. This job that I have in this schedule, I get up
Yeah.
at 5:30 every day, and so it's just pretty much my body. That's it. It knows 5:30. Wake up. You know, about 10:30, time for bed.
Gotcha. And you don't have like a go running or do this. It's just go wake up, do work, kind of hang out, do whatever you feel like, go back to bed.
I mean, yeah. I'm always an active guy. You know, so when I get off work between 5 and 10 p.m. at night or something,
Yeah.
I'm probably not home, and if I am, I'm probably doing something outside or retropie related or something. So otherwise, disc golf. I play a lot of disc golf.
Oh, nice.
Like frisbee golf.
Yeah,
People that don't know, and so I do a lot of that. I used to be a runner, but my bones just don't really like it so much anymore.
Gotcha. You hike instead.
Yeah,
Nice. So you're out doing stuff, staying active.
yeah.
Nintendo or Sega?
I probably have to go Nintendo on that one.
Mario or Zelda?
Mario, yeah.
PC or Mac?
Mac.
Mac. And have you always been like that, or?
I haven't until about 8 or 9 years ago, I think. So I used to build, I don't know how many PC Windows computers I built over my days. I mean, tons of them.
Sure.
When Sly Mode came with 2 video cards and all that kinds of stuff. Because I was big into flight simulators also.
Oh, interesting.
But so the way I ended up getting a Mac, and that's what I use now, is a Mac. So my monitor went out one day, on my Windows PC.
Yeah.
And so prior to that, though, for the previous couple of months, I'd been trying to get, they call them Hackintoshes,
Oh, right,
And
where
so-
they have the
and-
different bootable operating systems.
Yeah. So I'd been trying to get one made, and it was frustrating me. So that day, my Windows monitor went out, and I'm like, So I went to the store, to our local store here, and I was looking at all the new monitors, and over there, they had all the new Macs that just came out.
Right.
And they were 24 inch, 27 inches. I don't know what they were
Yeah.
back.
Those
in
displays are so
2010-ish or
pretty,
so.
though.
And I was like, man, I said, that's it. I'm buying a Mac.
Yeah.
And that was it. I came home with a Mac, And so it was like, well, this will be an interesting learning curve,
Yeah.
So, but since then, I'm a Mac guy. Yeah.
Nice. Does it bother you? See, the thing that bothers me about Mac is the price. You get so much less performance in the hardware than you do with the PC, but then the software is way more optimized.
Yeah. And
So-
I'm actually kind of, when I first got my Mac, it was just so easy.
Yeah.
The old Photos program, I loved it to death. And Final Cut, I used a lot of Final Cut when I got it,
editing.
and just a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So, but nowadays, modern Macs,
Yeah.
they're not as wowy, I think, as they used to be.
Yep. Deep dish or thin crust?
Deep dish.
Deep dish. And you never said Chicago in any of you like Chicago and you like Colorado and Texas. Is deep dish which is more common in Texas?
Probably 50-50.
Ah, okay. Right down the middle.
But I've eaten real Chicago pizza, real New York pizza as well.
Yeah.
I've probably been to, I counted up one day, out of the 50 contiguous, United States. Right?
Yeah.
I think I've been to 39 of them, I think.
Wow. So good amount.
Something like that. So, yeah. So yeah, I've eaten pizza quite a few different places.
Have you been to Italy?
I haven't. The only place
Okay.
out of the States I've been is Cancun, Cozumel type thing, or
Right.
Canada.
Which is a short flight from Texas, right?
Oh,
Just
yeah.
going down
So-
the water there. So if you ever do go to Italy, go to Naples, where they have the oldest pizzeria in the world.
Nice.
And I don't know if you're much for like the margarita style pizza, which just
yeah.
Okay, so they have like the original margarita pizza.
Okay.
And so short little story is when I went, the oldest pizzeria was closed, but next door to it, there's the second oldest pizzeria, which supposedly has like the similar,
That's funny.
yeah, similar thing. So I ate the
Right.
second best, and I have to tell you that the second best is by far light years ahead. I've eaten a lot
Really?
of pizza as well. Light years ahead as far as any other pizza I've ever eaten. before.
Huh.
So I mean, it's worth a couple $1,000
Okay.
air flight ticket to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a big bucket list that I'm slowly working my way on.
Yeah, if you go to Naples, head down to the Amalfi Coast, which is not far from
Okay.
there. So you can make like a
Okay.
little trip out of it do that. And it's not too far from
Awesome.
Rome. You can take the Rome to the
Okay.
train, yeah. Okay,
I'll make
anyways.
it there one day. I'll make
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. So, wine or beer?
I'm a wine guy, but
Yeah.
only because I make mead.
Oh,
So-
which
which
for
is
those
like,
of you who don't know, it's a honey beer,
honey
right?
wine.
It's a
Honey
honey wine.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it
So-
was considered a beer.
It's a wine.
Okay.
So, but it's just fermented honey instead. So I've been making mead now for 6 or 7
feel like-
years or something like that.
So it's like moonshine. You got like a little moonshine operation over there.
Well, my guest bathroom, I call it my brewery.
Oh, do you really use your tub and everything?
No, I use
Oh,
you know
okay.
carboys and stuff else, but
Okay.
I use all the cabinets. So if you ever go into that bathroom and you open up the cabinets underneath the sink,
Yeah.
it's all winemaking equipment that's in there.
Nice. You have to do a video. You have to do a video about your mead operation.
So it's a lot of fun. Tastes
Is it
really good.
legal? Is it legal to do it?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep, as long as you don't sell it, you're good to go.
Nice.
So
Cool. Yeah, because I bought one of those beer kits before. I know it's dumb, like the Mr. Beer or whatever.
yeah, I thought about it.
Don't do it. It's not that good.
funny.
It's like those little when girls when they're young they get that little oven and they can make brownies in
Oh,
it.
easy
It's
bake
like
ovens.
yeah, it's like that. Mr. Beer is like the easy bake oven of making beer. It's like why would you
Funny. That's
yeah,
funny.
don't waste your time. I mean, it's
That's
fun for
funny.
the experience, but the actual
Sure.
product it makes is not amazing.
No, mead's pretty good.
Yeah. Tattoos or piercings? Which one would you prefer?
Tattoos.
And do you have any?
I don't know.
Would you ever get one?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah. Maybe a snake bite tattoo?
Right?
Yeah.
Well, we did give him a plaque.
Oh,
The
really?
guy that got snake bit, yeah. Because on the drive home, we stopped at a few of the little, roadside stores. We found little like rattlesnake statues.
Oh, nice.
So-
You're a good
So
friend.
we had a care package for him when he got out.
Nice. Cool. I think I'm going to end it right there. That was awesome. Thank you very much. So if we want
thanks a lot.
you're welcome. If we want to find you, get a hold of you, where can we go to see that? And then also, after you give the plug of where to get you, what are you working on next? What can we look forward to?
So nowadays, since I'm pretty much, in my mind anyway, I've kind of retired from building things to a certain degree in retropie.
I hope not.
So all
For
I
now.
pretty much do now is just themes,
Uh-huh.
because right now I don't know of really any way to push either emulation station or attract mode more than what we already have to a certain
Right.
degree, right? So now it's all about the themes, kind of
Yeah.
thing. So I just finished up the kids theme,
Right.
and hopefully that'll be available in the ES Themes Manager, pretty soon here in RetroPie. So that'll be available. Since I'm done with that one, Dwayne doesn't have anything that he's cooking up that I'm helping him yet with. So we just worked on his Sterling and got
Yeah.
that one done.
And he has a box one coming out too, right?
Yeah, he's working on a bunch of boxes right now. So I'm not sure what his plans are, or what he wants to do with those. So I might end up helping him a little bit. But really, otherwise, RetroPie related, I don't have anything in the works right now that I know of.
Right.
I've got a few theme ideas I've tossed around for a few months, so we'll see.
Nice.
But as far as where to find me, YouTube for one.
Okay. Yeah.
There's one of his.
I'll put a
awesome
link
boxes.
below.
So YouTube for one. But then on Facebook, I'm in a few different groups. Dwayne's RetroPie Theme Hub that we started beginning of this year or whatever. So the RetroPie Theme Hub is where I normally hang out, if that's what you want to call it.
Yeah.
But I am in a couple of others. Project HyperPie, of course. Retromaniac US is another one that I'm in.
Yeah.
There's a few others that I'm in as well. I'm in Mad Little Pixels
Nice.
as well, and I'm pretty sure I'm in ETA's one too. Yeah,
ETA
'cause
Prime Gaming,
I'm in his group too, because I actually posted a picture of a ETA Prime RetroPie theme the other day in his group. I'm not going to make it, but
Oh, it was like a teaser.
I posted a mock-up picture of it in
Yeah,
his
yeah,
group the other day. So really,
Did he respond? Did you
He
respond?
didn't. No, he didn't. Dadgummit.
He will. Maybe he'll do it after he sees this, or we'll bug him.
It was
but
funny.
He's really busy. Like I think so at least. From my understanding,
I think he is too.
I don't think it's that he didn't do it. I think he probably hasn't seen it yet.
Yeah. So, but either the Facebook groups or my YouTube channel, probably the easiest way to get me. Probably.
Gotcha. Well, cool. Well, thank you. You've made it through. I appreciate you coming on board. And to all the viewers, let's give them a bon voyage. We'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.